Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Louisa Owen Sandstrom, founder of Patternmaking in Public Places. PIP for short is a project working to democratize access to pattern making skills by removing barriers of geography, economics, age, language, intimidation, and more. In 2019, we did free pattern making demos in public parks in all 5 boroughs of New York City. And this year, we're excited to welcome in a series of amazing guest pattern makers. So today is our 5th event of the 2020 season, and I'm excited to introduce you to Michael Gardner and his daughter Ava, who will be co-leading a pattern demo called DIY Elastic Waist Skirt. Michael Gardner is a proud father, self-taught sewist, lifelong crafter, and DIY enthusiast, also known as Ava's dad. He works in finance for his 9-to-5, and he can usually be found exercising his creative abilities at any other time. Michael began his sewing journey 6 years ago. He wanted a way to bond with his daughter while looking for a new creative challenge, and he created Daddy Dressed Me by Michael Gardner. His mission is to help Ava build her self-esteem and establish confidence in herself and her abilities. So a couple more notes before we get started. This event is absolutely 100% free because we want to make these empowering skills as accessible as possible. However, if you're watching now or in the future and feel moved to make a donation in recognition of Michael's work, we won't say no. His Venmo is at Michael Gardner 235 with dashes in between, which I've posted in the live chat and will post elsewhere afterward. We are recording this as a live webinar, but we'll make the video available forever afterward. In a few days, it'll be available at patternmakingpublicplaces.com and on YouTube. If you're watching this live, please feel free to submit questions or comments in Zoom's chat or Q&A areas, and I'll pass them to Michael after the demonstration. We'll stay for some more question and answer, and I'll also be monitoring the YouTube live stream chat, so feel free to submit there as well. Michael and Ava, I'm so excited for your demo. Welcome, and I will pass things over to you now.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
I'm Michael.
I'm Ava.
And our Instagram, you may already know, is Daddy Dressed Me by MG. And today we're going to walk you through a little bit of the creative process that we do when I create something. And it's pretty simple with basic tools that you probably already have at home, so don't be intimidated or feel like you have to go out and buy a bunch of stuff. All right, so I'll walk you through what we're actually going to use and then kind of explain it as we go. So one of the first things you'll need is a measuring tape, because you'll need to take your measurements to actually create the pattern. Some scissors to cut through. Well, you'll probably want 2 sets of scissors, one to cut for your actual paper, whatever you're using to make the pattern, and then the second pair for fabric, just for fabric. You'll also need a pencil, some sort of ruler, your actual fabric, some paper if you want to just jot down what your measurements are, some pattern weights to put on top of the pattern to hold onto the fabric, clips and pins if you choose, and last but not least, you're going to need some elastic. Is that everything? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. And something to actually make your pattern with. So today we're actually using wrapping paper, but you can also use poster board, tracing paper, whatever feels good to you, you can use. All right, so we're going to start with taking Ava's waist measurement. Turn to me. All right, so first you want to actually measure exactly where you want the skirt to hit. So if you're going to do high-waisted, you would kind of measure somewhere up in here, but we're going to do this at her natural waist, which is right here. Okay, so take the measurement starting with your one. This is in inches, so at the 1 inch, where do you want it to sit? Like, where do you want it to sit? Like right here. Okay. So you start the measuring tape kind of in the center. Especially if you're measuring yourself, it's best to start somewhere where you can actually see the number and just bring it together. So her waist measurement is, yeah, you don't want me to? Okay, she doesn't want her waist measurement disclosed. I care with you. All right, so, I mean, I kind of just showed it. Sorry, I kind of just showed it. All right, so you're going to write that down. But you don't want it publicly known. All right, perfect. All right. Oh, Lord. Sorry, she's scared of us. Come on. Turn it. All right, you got that down.
No, I didn't write it. I didn't.
No, that's fine.
Yes.
That's fine.
Oh.
All right. So now we have to take, for the second measurement, you're going to need, so that's the width. Now you need your length. So at that same line where you want the, where it's going to sit on your waist, then you turn to the side for me. No, the other way. So you want to come down your hip line to about wherever it is that you want the measurement to stop. So normally for her, we stop right about above her knee. So that's about 14 inches. So write that down. Ava, come on, write that down. All right, so now we pretty much have, oh, no, before we get there. So we'll go ahead and take care of the elastic as well. So with the elastic, you can either take the waist measurement and just cut it out from there. I actually like to take the elastic and just put it on her waist so she can actually feel it and we can decide what feels comfortable. So stand up for me. Okay, so we'll wrap it. And normally, I think you normally will just take your waist measurement and add about 1 inch. But it's more so about your comfort. So just bring it. Let me turn it this way so you can see it. Does that feel okay? Yes. You don't want it to be too loose, or else it's not going to actually stay on your waist. So hold this for me. Put that to the side. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to clip about here. And then just check and make sure. So this is still a little bit too big. Clip a little bit more. But you also want to leave space for when you actually sew this down. So this is pretty good. All right, sorry, I'm a little nervous. All right, so we have our elastic for her waist. We have the measurements for her waist as well as the length as well. So now we're going to take that. Hold that for me. Lift it up. Sorry, just cutting off excess that's already kind of ripped. Okay. Sorry. Come around this side. Alright, so I hope you guys can kind of see. But so what we're going to do is take. All right. So at the top portion, man, are you paying attention? At the top of the paper, you want to start with the actual waist number. So I'm gonna put that. All right, so for the actual waist measurement, you obviously have to keep in mind that you're doing a front and a back. So whatever your waist measurement is, the top line that you're cutting or that you're drawing out, that line is going to be half of what your waist measurement is to keep in mind your front and your back. So for example, if your waist is 30 inches, the width at the top would be 15, which is half. But you also have to keep in mind seam allowance as well. So for Ava's, we're going to come out with the measurement. So take that. All right, so I have her, Ava, no, stay here. I have her top line marked out. So take this pencil and just draw a line right there. Yes, I just be careful not just the paper. Okay, so that's the line for the width, and now we're going to do the same thing on the side for the left. So your left is 15. So another thing, because we're inserting elastic, you also need to make room for that elastic to go in as well. So normally what I would do is add on, I would probably say about 1.5 inches, depending on how wide your elastic is. So the one that we're using is an 1-inch wide elastic. So we have to leave space for the casing of the elastic within the pattern as well. So for the length of her skirt, we got 14 inches, but I'm also going to add on about another 3 inches, one for, well, maybe not 3, like 2.5. One for the elastic casing, and then the other for the hem at the bottom as well. So we're going to mark off, let's just do 17. So just draw like a line there. All right, so we're pretty much now we have a square. Wait, maybe gotta adjust this top. Oh no, I didn't. Okay. So now what you can do is take this ruler and you're going to connect your lines. So but be gentle so you don't hurt the paper. So just draw, you can hold it. Yes. Okay. All right, so it's fine. You can just kind of do it. And now we're going to do the same thing across the bottom. So do the same thing, just draw the line straight up. Okay. All right. Now we're going to take the pattern weights and lay them down so you can freely cut out the pattern that we just created. So what you want to do is take scissors, so just trace your line up here and up here. Let's try to stay with you know, like on the outside of the line. So essentially what we're creating is a square based on your measurements. And straight up. Watch your fingers. Open up a little bit. There you go. All right. No, the rectangle. All right, so here is the pattern for her skirt. Pretty much a rectangle. So it's about 17 by that would be like 16, I believe. All right. And normally you can like mark if you're going to keep it. I wouldn't probably use this to keep, but just for this project it'll work. You normally will want to write your measurements on here, what it's for, but this paper isn't that sturdy, so we'll just do this on like a thicker paper next time. All right, so now we're going to take the fabric. So this is the fabric that she wanted to use for her skirt. Thank you, sis, Auntie, for donating this. Which way do you want the pattern to go? Do you want it diagonal or vertical? Vertical. So let's make sure we have. All right, so now you're going to lay out your fabric. And you're going to place your pattern you just created right on top. Okay. Using order. All right, so we're going to take our pattern pieces, our pattern weights, and place them on top of the fabric. This is to keep the actual fabric down. Right. You can also, which is why I brought the pins, you can also use clips if you prefer. You can use clips if you wanted to clip the actual. Are you okay? Come over here. Come on. You can either use, don't walk in front of the camera, walk around. Behind. So you can clip, excuse us. So you can either clip the pattern to the fabric if you choose, and then as you're cutting, remove the clips, or you can also use pins as well. But again, because of the tissue paper, we're not going to use pins, but whichever process works best for you is fine. All right, so now we're going to take the fabric scissors and you're going to cut around the actual pattern. So I need you to, I didn't add seam allowance, so I need you to cut like a little bit further out. So I'll guide you to do that. So not next to the paper, here, okay, right here. And we're cutting through both. You want to do one at a time or two at a time? Well, you can do it. So let's keep going straight up. Okay. Hold it up. Okay. Hey, so now we're going to cut across the top. Yep. Good job. All right. Yes, we'll look at that. I can't focus. All right, so from that, you now have your pattern piece together. So the fabric was laid on, well, folded over, so she was able to cut out both pieces at the same time. I forgot which way it's supposed to help, but that's okay. And so this was also from the salvaged edge, which I'm going to cut off. Relax, it's okay. Okay, so this edge here, I'm going to cut off. That was just additional fabric, basically. You have anything you want to say, Sharon?
I just want to say I'm really excited to do this right now. That's it.
Why are you excited?
Because I get to make.
Sit there so they can see you. Right?
Because I get to cut, and I also get to make my own pattern. That's why.
So Ava actually did this. How many years ago was that? About 3 years ago. For her pre-K graduation, she wanted to make a dress. So we literally sat and did this entire process. And she sewed the dress together. The only thing I did was like the hemming. But she sewed the entire dress herself. So I'll actually share that probably this week as a throwback Thursday or a flashback Friday. Okay, so all right, so okay, so here is her skirt, front and back. I think I have these mixed up, but that's okay. We'll figure that out by the time we sew it. And here's her actual elastic. So the process is very, very simple. When we actually go to sew this together, which Ava is going to sew this herself. So all we're going to do is lay the two pieces right sides together, which is just the side that you're going to wear. Put that together. And this is okay. And it's as simple as sewing your side seam here, your side seam down this side, and at the top, we'll create the casing for the elastic. So what I do is fold the fabric over, and then I tuck the raw edge under, which keeps it clean. And I kind of measure it by putting the elastic on top just to make sure. So like this. So when she sews this, she's gonna encase the raw edge here and sew down this line here. But making sure that there's enough space to be able to slide the elastic in after she's done. After she leaves an opening as well. Well, we're not sewing it right now, so that's pretty much how you can create your own pattern. It's very, very simple. Literally, all you kind of need is your measurements. Now, normally, as I'm sewing, I don't even create a pattern. I take whatever it is that I'm using. So it could be a T-shirt, it could be something I previously made her, or it could just be from her measurements. I take that and I usually just cut into the fabric. But as a beginner, it's it's good to, and that's kind of where I go wrong sometimes, is that I don't create a pattern. So if I want to make a pair of pants, it will be simpler to be able to go back to the pattern I created and do it again. But with me and my process, once I kind of have an idea, I just kind of go. So this is something that I'm going to start doing more of because, like I said, simple pants, shorts, skirts, it's easier, and it actually cuts down the time that you have to that you'll need to do the project if you already have the pattern ready to go. So this probably later today or some point this week, we're going to sew this together, and then I'll share on the Instagram page how everything turned out. She has another piece of the fabric, which will probably make a coordinating top, or I think you said you want to make a headpiece. A head. Oh, that one. Okay. So yeah, she'll have a little outfit, and doesn't take too much time, and the fabric was gifted, so it's not costing us anything. All right, you have anything you want to share about our experiences as we create and you model?
Yeah.
All right, well, go ahead.
I love to model. I love modeling because me and Daddy, I feel like pictures bring us more close to each other, and so we started a new thing where we do together. We started a craft every day. So one of the crafts was we went somewhere, and Daddy made glasses, and I sparkled up my slides, and me and Daddy, we've been almost everywhere,
Right.
taking pictures. I always wanted to take pictures and like where there's like an ocean, like the beach or something, like where it's clear water. I wanted to like get a wave in my picture too.
Oh, it's funny. I had that same idea this week.
So like I would like to make myself a bathing suit. Like I would like to make myself a bathing suit and be in the water. Yeah, I know. And be in the water, and a wave comes up.
One project at a time.
Yes, I know.
I haven't even made a bathing suit yet. We'll get there.
And also, I love modeling because I feel good about myself, and I feel like I can do anything because I know that Daddy has my back.
Sure do.
And also, we've been getting through some hard challenges. I'm not gonna say it because I already got myself caught last time.
Right.
So yeah.
My business is private.
Yes, that's one of the reasons why I don't want my things.
Got it.
Yes.
Well, that's okay. That's not. We all have a size. It's okay. But if you want to keep it private, we'll keep it private.
And one more thing. I'm happy that God gave me to Daddy. Well, God gave Daddy to me, and I love him so much.
I love you too, baby.
I love him, and I'm excited to do more things with each other before I go back to school. But obviously, we'll still be doing stuff.
Right.
Because
more so on the weekend.
Yes, more so on the weekends.
You got work to do, homework.
Yes.
Education is first.
Yes. But you come first.
Thank you. All right, so I guess we can open it up to questions now.
Yes.
You guys
We're
have
ready.
anything you want to know about my process, how I do things? Feel free to ask.
Open book too.
Thank you so much. That was amazing.
Thank
That was
you.
amazing. We do actually have
This is
a question that I think, Ava, you partway answered, but this is a question for you. What do you like about making your own clothes, or what do you like about having clothes made by your dad?
I like the colors. I like that I get to model it. I love all of our locations that we took pictures. My favorite one is when Daddy made me something when we were at the beach and I took pictures in the sand. Do you
The
remember?
caftan?
Yes.
Okay.
That was my favorite
That was
location.
last summer.
I also wanted to take pictures in Baltimore near the harbor too.
Okay.
Yes, that's my answer.
Good job.
We also have a question from Roberta, who says, I missed the very beginning and I was wondering what you used for pattern weights.
Oh, so mine are actually they're actual pattern weights that were custom made for me, which have like the Daddy Dress Me logo. So these were gifted to me by my amazing fiance. But if you don't have actual pattern weights, you can literally use things that are in the house. So a lot of times in the house, I use these, which this is an actual coaster to hold your drinks, but it has like a good weight to it. And but I've used my phone before I had these. I've used scissors that are heavier. Anything that has weight to it that will just keep the pattern or your fabric down as you're cutting, you can pretty much use if you don't have actual pattern.
Cool. And we have compliments coming from Hannah and Stephanie. And we have another question from Stephanie. This question is more for Michael. Which material is more user-friendly for a beginner?
I would say cotton, which that's what this is. Yeah, cotton is, for me, I think the best fabric to start with. They do make some kinds that have a little bit of stretch to them, but a lot of the times stretchier fabrics are very challenging for beginners. Some people that have sewn for years won't use certain fabrics that have stretch. A lot of times it gets caught in the needle or in your machine. Yeah, cotton is the best. It glides through the machine, really works with all types of needles. You have to be careful if it frays a lot. But you know, that's what you can use the pinking shears or what's that thing called? I can't think of the name of the machine. I don't even use that. I just usually either use pinking shears or I just encase the raw edges into my hem. A serger, that's what I was trying to say. But yeah, cottons I feel are the first step with using fabrics. And if you're not fully comfortable, just buy inexpensive fabric, run it through the machine, get comfortable with the machine, try different stitches. But cotton is probably the best for beginners.
Awesome, thank you. So let's see. I know, Michael, you, in your bio, you say that you've been a lifelong crafter and DIYer. I'd love to hear more. Did you grow up in a creative family, or was it just you? And tell us more about your creative adventure.
Mainly just me. Yeah, when I was younger, creativity was something that I used as an outlet. Just started with, you know, pen and paper or crayons, coloring. I didn't really draw, but I tried. A little bit of drawing. And then over time, it just progressed as something that I always did, mostly by like when I was to myself. So as I got older, I would create invitations. I would do centerpieces, painting, writing poetry. And into like doing home projects. So I've literally tried pretty much everything. Um, Once I discovered that that was a way that I could get my feelings out or just process things for myself when I, wasn't at a place to communicate what I was feeling or what I was going through. Um, and to this day, creativity is still the first thing that I turn to when I feel stressed, anxious, worried, or concerned. I usually want to create. First thought is usually going straight to the sewing machine. If I'm too tired to do that, I will try something else.
I love it.
Relax, it's okay. They're not going to get you. I'm right here.
It's on your bag.
It's fine.
So I know you mentioned that you often don't even make a pattern. You often sort of measure and cut straight into the fabric. And a lot of people starting to sew, I feel like they sort of come at it from the opposite perspective, where they buy a pattern at the store and it takes them a long time to be brave enough to sort of wing it or make their own. So could you talk a bit more, I guess, about your process for deciding what shape to cut out of fabric? And
Okay. So I learned the opposite way. I learned, watching YouTube, and a lot of the creators on YouTube would create their own patterns. So that was kind of the way that I learned. So that was my first instinct to actually try. So I started with just laying out a t-shirt and cutting around it, leaving, enough space for the new seam, but pretty much, that's where I started. So that's what I'm most comfortable with. For me, it's like a visual thing. So I can kind of see what I want to create. It's just a matter of figuring out the shapes to create it. And to just simplify it, at the end of the day, most things that you're creating has to have at least two seams. And there are some things you can create with just one seam, depending on how it's cut out. But at the end of the day, if you're going to just have two seams, kind of figure it out from there, and then understanding how will those two seams fit on your body. So not that long ago, I made her, I think it was a jumpsuit. Yeah, I made her a jumpsuit, and I took her chest measurement, her hip measurements, and went to the fabric, laid out the tape measure, and cut based on those two lines, with also leaving space for seam allowance, and cut it out, sewed it up, and then put it on her. So whereas most people that use patterns, they're cutting out the fabric based on the measurements, based on the patterns, measurements and sizing. I'm kind of doing it opposite, where I'm cutting out a shape and then I'm fitting it to her body. So after I've sewn like side seams, I try things on her. If it needs to be taken in, I take it in. If it's, I've learned to overcut because I've made the mistake of undercutting, and then I can't use it. So yeah, whatever feels comfortable to you is what you should try. I know some people are scared to cut straight into the fabric. Me, I get caught up with sewing patterns because it feels restrictive to me. Not necessarily cutting. One, I don't feel like cutting out the actual pattern, but when it gets to the instructions, like, I get lost. So I'd rather just freely do it and kind of work as I go to make sure it fits well. And that process has worked for me for the last 6 years.
Yeah, I love that. And I love what you said about, I don't know, it's sort of this constant dance between like the shape that you cut out, but then there's always going to be some amount of fitting and shaping later in order to make it fit to that real body. So I love the way you navigate that dance.
Yeah, because even for patterns, they're like, a lot of women that I follow use patterns, and I often see them say, I had to make this adjustment. I had to take it in for the bust, or I have to they have to cut multiple sizes because they're smaller up top and you know, bigger down bottom, or you know, reverse. So it's pretty much the same thing. It's just a matter of how you go about doing it.
I love that. So Ava, I'd love to hear more about the graduation dress that you and your dad were saying that you made a few years ago. That sounds like an amazing project.
Explain what you did. Well, remember it was a black fabric with the pink flowers.
Yes. So I sewed with a black fabric with pink flowers.
Which was a cotton. It was a cotton that had stretch to it.
And so I think it was the night before my graduation that we did it.
No, it was a couple days before.
Okay. And Daddy, I was having trouble with it because it was my first time doing it. So Daddy was helping me, and he was positioning me to how I was doing it. So when I was starting to sew it, I remember me taking the pins out before I even started sewing it.
Yeah, even for her first time, we actually used pins. So she was guiding the fabric through, stopping, taking out the pin. Yeah, she did a really good job for it to be her first time ever sewing. The actual dress was sleeveless, so we had taken a dress that I had made her, which was like a sleeveless, plain little dress. We took that and created the pattern on using like poster board. And she cut everything out, sewed it up, and then in the back, because I didn't want to have to put like a zipper or anything else, we cut like a U into the back, and then put shoestrings on it so that she would be able to tie the back. So basically, she had a keyhole in the back to simplify the design so that she could, you know, complete the project.
That's so cool. And Ava, how did it feel wearing a dress that you made to your graduation?
It was fun, but when I was at my graduation, I kept thinking that Daddy made it, but I made it because he makes all my clothes. But it was fun. It was a few minutes or so. I don't know. It took a long time, but I finally got it, and I was really happy. And then I made a list that day that I wanted to do more stuff, and then I never did it, so I'm starting now.
Right. Yeah, she made a list of all the things she wanted to sew, and it was a jumpsuit, a skirt, like full on outfits. But I never wanted to like force her to sew, so I wanted it to be natural for her if she chose to. So recently she's made masks, like, you know, over the summer, and has been consistent in saying like, I want to make a skirt. So that's kind of how this idea came about. So I still have that list somewhere.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, what are some of the projects that the two of you are pondering making next? Like, I heard a bathing suit, but maybe not quite yet.
Yeah, that like a bathing suit. So I've made her 2 different bathing suits, but not the traditional style. So one was like a scuba suit, but it was like shorts, and the other one was shorts with like a tankini. But yeah, that's on my list to make her like a legit bathing suit. For some reason in my mind, I'm like, I've overcomplicated it. So that's kind of why I pushed it off. But last week, so I'm a maker for Janome. And last week I just completed outfits for the both of us. So I made myself shorts, and sewed a piece of the fabric onto a t-shirt. And for her, I made her a maxi dress with like a ribbon tie in the back, and at the bottom it has it's a gathered skirt at the bottom, which came out great. So that'll be we'll share that this week. And I still have a few other projects in mind. I had bought some men's shirts. So I bought myself a shirt and then bought her a shirt. And then I already did one already. It was a white shirt that I shared back in June. But I have another shirt that I want to turn into an outfit for her so that we can match as well.
Very cool. Okay, we have another question from an attendee, and just a reminder to everybody watching, please feel free to submit questions. We'd love to share them. And so another question from Stephanie to Michael and Ava. What is your favorite or one of your favorite outfits and why?
So what's your favorite outfit?
My favorite outfit is the Annie dress that you made me for the daddy-daughter dance. That's my favorite outfit.
So the second year we went to the daddy-daughter dance, excuse me, she was watching Annie a lot, so I made her a red dress with a big red bow on it that she wore to the dance. That was the second year we went. For me, I would probably say I have a few, and it's always hard to pick. But I think the dress that I just made her last week is my absolute favorite. That we took pictures together. The fabric was like bright and colorful, which is like, we both love color. We love bold prints. And I had been struggling to do gathers. Whenever any machine I had, I just struggled with it. I tried to do it by hand. It just never worked out. So the new machine I got has a gather and stitch, and I mean, it came out amazing. So I would probably say that's my absolute favorite.
Awesome. I love it. Another question, Michael, what clothes do you find easier to make? Anything you wish you first learned to make?
To me, the simplest is probably maxi dresses. That, like, when Ava was younger, that was always my favorite to make her, because sorry, got a phone call. Yeah, maxi dresses were very simple, and yeah, I don't know. It was something that wasn't like out there to buy for her in the styles or like the colors that she liked or I liked. So being able to create them was like a great feeling. Yeah, dresses are usually simplest to make. You can start with a t-shirt dress or a tank style dress, and choose if you want to use a jersey that doesn't fray or anything. You can leave the edges raw as long as you have a clean cut. Like, it's completely up to you. But any sort of dress, even skirts, are very simple too. Pants are complicated. I wouldn't say they're complicated. They just require a little bit more attention to detail because of like the crotch area. And I still have challenges. Like, even now, I still have to work through that sometimes. So it's just a matter of like how much work you want to put in to determine what you like doing the most. But instinctively, like, dresses are usually my go-to with her. Yes, especially maxi dresses.
Cool. I love it. And is it sort of different sewing for yourself versus your daughter, or is it kind of the same process?
So the process is the same. It's just, so I've just gotten into sewing for myself. Yeah, it was always geared towards her. I used to struggle with actually finding fabric that I liked for me, so that was a part of why I wasn't sewing. But more recently, I've gotten into the idea of actually sewing more for myself, and I, honestly, from her, because she loves when we actually wear matching outfits. So that's more so what kind of encouraged me to start actually sewing more for me. But yeah, it's pretty much the same process. I'll take shorts or shirt, pants that already fit me well, and use that as my guide to cut into the fabric. So it's the same as that process. more work because obviously I'm bigger. But it's the same. Ava, calm down. It's okay. Nothing got you. You're good. Pick it up. She is terrified of bugs, and there's a few out here, and she's losing her mind. It's all right. Nothing's on you. Nothing's got you. You're good.
Totally understandable. Yeah, again, everybody, we're going to wrap up pretty soon, but please do submit any final questions or thoughts that you have. We'd love to hear them. So, Michael, you shared a bit about how you started making patterns and how you sort of Hannah says, "Don't worry, Ava, you're bigger than those bugs."
Okay, come on, you're getting the jitters. Okay.
You shared a bit about how you learned to make clothing and how you learned to do the patterning for that. Do you have advice for somebody who may be watching who is eager to start making their own patterns and their own clothing but doesn't know where to start?
So for me, Pinterest and YouTube are like my go-to, because it's more so a matter of like how you learn. So I can do both. I can do a picture tutorial and understand for some projects. Some projects I need to actually see it being done. There are some projects that I've, like I think I made a high-low skirt for her last year. And I went to YouTube and I literally watched the tutorial step by step. And as she did something, I paused it. I did what she did, kept going, did the same thing. So it's a matter of like how you learn and finding somebody that's teaching it that in the way that you can receive it. So there's some YouTube tutorials that are just way too complicated for me. I more so I don't want to hear the talking. I just more so want to skip it, see you do it, and then feel like I can do it too. But I would say just buy inexpensive fabric and just try. Like I understand you spend, $10, $12, $15 on fabric per yard. You don't want to cut into that and then you can't use it. So just buy something that's on clearance, a basic cotton, and just try it out. You're going to have failures. You're going to have stuff that doesn't work. That's completely okay. There's so many inexpensive things that you can buy to kind of try the process out that you won't feel upset by feeling like you wasted money. It's literally a trial and error.
Awesome. Another question, where is a good store to buy quality fabrics?
So for me, I purchase a lot of like from local stores here in Philadelphia. So anybody that has questions about that, they can email me or send me a DM on Instagram, and I'll gladly share those sites because some of them do ship out fabrics for you. They don't necessarily, I don't think they sell it online, but you can call the store or send them a DM on Instagram, and they will, excuse me, and they will sell you the fabric and ship it to you. But occasionally there's Joann, excuse me, there's Joann's. There's also Jomar. I think Jomar might be local to PA though, where I found great fabrics from there as well. But yeah, I'll gladly share the local places that I get fabric from. But I've collected fabric over the years from everywhere. Mood, I've gotten fabric from there. Hobby Lobby, I recently purchased from to do like some baby stuff. But yeah, I'll share the local places with anybody that wants that information.
Awesome, thank you. And Ava, a question for you as we're wrapping up. Do you have advice for kids who might want to start sewing, or do you have advice for kids who might want to have their dad start sewing for them?
Sometimes when Daddy has an idea and I have my own idea, I just beg him to do my idea, and then I say, well, I'm gonna be the one wearing it. And he just says, okay, you're right. But sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes he just says you're wearing it, and I like it, and I model it, and I'm done. And if kids want to sew, I'm just gonna say focus, concentrate, and if you have someone close to you who knows how to sew too, ask them to help you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. Michael or Ava, any final thoughts before we start wrapping up?
Yeah, one more. And also, I
Camera's right there. Camera's right
and also I like.
I don't know. I'll go.
No.
Go ahead.
Let me say it real quick. I also like to. So one of these days, Daddy made me. He made me the dress that you said was your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy made that, and Daddy he didn't have enough fabric to make him a shirt, so he bought a white plain shirt and he just attached a strip of fabric to it. And I told him I really liked it, and I said that I wanted to make one too. And he said all that you needed is you have to iron it on first, and you said then sew it or something.
Depending on the type of fabric, yeah.
I did.
For me, I just want to say, if you have an interest in sewing, just try. I've learned a lot from making mistakes, just trying different things, having one idea and it turns out to be something else. It's literally a process that you can do what you want. It doesn't even have to be clothes. If you want to sew clutches, handbags, totes, pillows. I mean, yeah, I've sewn things outside of clothing too. So if you have an interest in it, I would just say, just try it. It's probably hard to find sewing machines. I know for a while it was hard to find sewing machines because through the quarantine, everybody was buying one. But yeah, just be willing to kind of learn and grow. There are still so many things after 6 years that I still want to learn. I still have to learn buttons, which is like literally on my to-do list very, very soon. Zippers are still a little bit of a little annoying for me. So yeah, just be willing to learn, try. Don't be scared to make mistakes. And yeah, if you have creativity, just use it. Don't let it go to waste.
Yay, so inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start wrapping up. A reminder to everybody, if you have further questions, feel free to DM Michael on Instagram at daddydressedmebymg or email him daddydressedmebymg@gmail.com. Also, friendly reminder, if you feel moved to do so, you can donate using Venmo at MICHAEL-GARDNER-235. So thank you, Michael and Ava, for your inspiring
Thank you for inviting us. We appreciate it.
I'm glad you're here. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Quick reminder that tomorrow, Sunday, August 23rd at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, there's another free pattern making demo called Manipulación y Aplicación de Pinzas, or Dart Manipulations and Application, by my friend Jasmine Moran. It's going to be held in Spanish, but Q&A will be bilingual, so everybody should come. And more info on all events this summer, you can follow at Patternmaking in Public Places on Instagram. The recording of this video will be up soon at patternmakinginpublicplaces.com. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Ava.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a wonderful day.